a new project. We are going to run wiring for lights. This wall over here. This is, the windows are going to get blocked out, so I don't care about that right now. I've got to run wire, 12-2 for the outlets and a single circuit, and then I got to run a circuit for the microwave. So that's kind of the project today, is to do dead runs or home runs. But I'm not going to put boxes in. I'm just going to put the wire, because I learned this trick years ago, to run the wire and give yourself like a foot of extra wire and mark the floor where the wire's at. Then once you get everything installed and all the drywall's finished off, then you come back and you measure up and cut your hole and put a cut-in box. That's the easiest way to do it. Also going to run the new circuit for the stove. It goes over here in this area. And then I'm not for sure exactly what we're going to do with that wall. But the lighting, wiring, I've got to backtrace that and figure out where that's at and what's going on with that. Because there used to be a wall right here. I had to bring one of my photo lights because there's no lights. And it's a little dark, so anyways. So that's one thing we're going to be working on today. And then downstairs, there's a couple circuits that they need to be done away with. I'll show you. There's no power on these outlets, so we'll go downstairs and check it out. Now, so I have a circuit right here that I got to backtrace it and figure out what's going on with that. And the plumbing stack, you can see the plumbing stack is weird. That's going to be done away with. The old stack is no good, so we're just going to put it up in the wall, the new wall. Got some weird stuff like this going on. So here's one of the wires that's got to be done away with. You can see the top's already been clipped off. We got this wire here. We got to backtrace all of this stuff to figure out where it's going. Then you got, I think that's okay. I think that's the front porch outlet or something like that. So we'll have to figure all this out. That's the stove plug. That's about where it's going to be. It just needs to go straight up, I think. Yeah, that needs to go straight up. I think I'm going to be fine with that. No, the stove is going to go over there, right there. So I think, I have to double check. But yeah, I think the stove outlet's going to go right there maybe. We'll figure it out in a minute. Back in here, let's see if I can get some lights on. It's got a newer circuit, so we're good to go on the circuit breaker. We just got to run new wires. That's not cool. So I will probably end up turning that sideways and putting it through the wall so that I can put a cap on it. Or put it on this side of the wall, put a cap on it, and drywall. The cable wire is all weird, sticking out. It's fun. Good times. Good times. So we'll definitely do some PMs on this and go from there. It's not too bad, man. Just a little bit of wiring. So I ran this. I measured it out according to the drawing. It's got a big cabinet in the corner, 24. Then we got the stove with 30 inches. Then we got a cabinet, a little 24-inch cabinet. Then we got the sink. The sink's going to go right here. And then I got another 24 over here. Yeah. So what I did was I went through and measured out, marked the floor, and then I marked it up here. This is where I'm going to run the wire to for an outlet, sink height. And then that's where the stove's going to go. And then this is where the sink is. So I'm going to run a wire. Sink's over here, my bad. That's where an outlet is going to go right behind the cabinet. Right here is going to be I'm going to run a wire for him to put in the upper cabinet. or a wire back there, period, in case because I like to have a light right above the sink because there's no lighting in here except for the ceiling, and you get a blind spot. If you stand in front of the sink, you're gonna have a blind spot. So, what I mean by that, light shining behind you, it makes it harder to see the dishes because I've dealt with that. So we'll probably end up putting a little light above the sink. There'll be an outlet over here, which is right beside the sink, and like I said, there'll be one on the side of the sink too. So what I'll do first is I'll make a home run from the box to here, because this is going to be 20 amp. So I'll run a box to here, and then from here, I'll take care of my outlets on this wall. The microwave has to be on its own circuit, so there'll be another run. And then the stove, I did look at the drawing, the stove does go here. So I'll have to put a junction box where that wire's at in the basement, and put a new box here for the stove. And I like to put the boxes in, I don't like them protruding out. You gotta watch it when you run stove wire, because the stove wire it can't be up too high. I think it's like 6 inches off the floor, something like that. That way, when you put the plug in, it has room to bend the wire. Plus, on electric stove, you have the bottom drawer. So it has to be low enough where when you push stove back, it's not hitting back the stove. Anyways, that's what we're going to get started on. I get the 12.2 out of the truck. And we have 14.2 here for the lighting. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my dead run first, my home runs, and see if I can get that straightened out. Cool. This is the old way of wiring a house. This is the ground wire, and it's soldered. Oh my gosh. Ain't that fun? Good times. So we had to take it apart and clean it up, man. So I got my runs made. Outlet, microwave, outlet. That's where the switch is going to go. I ran into the problem with this. There's no ground. Even on this, there's no ground. They piggyback. This is a cheater way of doing it. They run a neutral or just a wire to the neutral, and it shows up as a ground. That's a no-no. Anyways, that's going away. This is where the fridge goes. So I'm gonna put a cap on this. Just plug it off, done with it. I already ran the wire and then pulled it back out. I'll show you why. So you come in the door, there's a light switch to turn on the lights. You go out that door to go to the bathroom, bedrooms, whatever, right? Or the living room's over there. So you can walk around. Anyways, so if you're coming in, you get up, you're coming in, you make coffee, whatever in the morning, put a light switch right there, so that you can turn the lights on versus having to come all the way over here. So it'll be a 3-way switch, which is not a big deal, but there's no box there, and I don't want to put it there because that's behind the refrigerator. So I'm gonna put it there. I already have the box laying there. So I need to go get some 3-way wire so that I can run the wire circuit up and over, drop it down, and because there's no ground, I'm gonna run a whole new wire from the breaker box to here. Or because it's only 6 can lights, I might go down the basement. Let's go down there and look, see if I can find a wire junction box. This is my home runs right there, my home runs. I have still got to nail them up, put them in the box. Let's see where we at here. This is gonna be, that's a stove wire. So that beam is right underneath that wall. So I don't want to get into this because I don't know what someone else has done, and I don't want to touch it. So I think I'm just going to go back to the box and run a new wire circuit for the wiring, for the lighting. It's like this right here. This is killed. Back here, this is just a cluster. This has got to be managed, fixed, got rid of, whatever. My thing is I don't want to get into, I'm not rewiring this whole freaking house. I'm just running new lighting for the kitchen. And I want to make sure that I'm not tagging into someone else's mess. I've already got to go through here and get rid of a bunch of stuff. So for right now, I'm just going to run a whole new wire for the lights for the kitchen. Because that wire, it's the old knob and tube one, not really knob and tube, it's upgrade from knob and tube, which there's no ground. So, and I don't want to mess with any of this other stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and run a new wire from the circuit breaker. And the good thing about this is it's an old square D. Well, I mean, it's an upgrade. So, I mean, it got like kitchen light, you know what I'm saying? This is just crazy. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5, 6 open spots. So I'll just get 2 square Ds, well, actually 3. One for the microwave, one for the countertop outlets, and one for the lighting. So we're good. No big deal. Looks like somebody's already taken one out. So we'll just tag right there. Cool. We get square Ds, man, square Ds. So we got back from Home Depot. We picked up my 3-way wire, my stove wire, and a junction box for the stove wire, some ends, and some staples. So let's get run some wire. This is gonna be the wire for that switch. So up and over. I put a box in over there. And got to put my 8-3 in. Cool. Let's do it. All right, so we got our 2 runs over here. They're all stapled in place. Yeah, everything, the wire's running. Now all I gotta do is install the stub wire, and then I'll open this box up to see exactly which square D I needed, because I didn't buy them, because I'm not gonna be hooking anything up right now anyways. So for right now, we're just gonna dead end them right here and go do the stub wire. So I got a box for this. We're gonna kill it right here, and then I'm gonna set the laser on it to go straight across, because the wires are really expensive. So I bought 16 foot, no, it's 15 foot. And I measured that out at being 14, so I'm hoping it's gonna be long enough. So we'll give it a shot. So this is my Tough Built laser. I've had this for quite a while. I really like it because the platform, it'll grip on a pole. My pole, I forget what brand this pole is, but it's adjustable and it's got a tripod if I want it. This Tough Built laser, it does vertical and horizontal. You can turn off the horizontal. I'm not advertising for it. I'm just saying, this is what I'm using. I like this one. I've had this for a while, and it came with it came with this mount, so I can swivel it, do whatever I need to with it. I can hang it off a door, because it pinches, and where it pinches a pole. So anyways, not that that has a whole lot of beans to do with anything. What I'm doing is I'm lining it up on where that cord's going to be and where it's going to be here. So I'm going to cut or drill holes through the stud at an angle. That way it's not as much wire versus going all the way over and then all the way this way. Screw all that. Straight line every time. Instead of following me around, it decided it didn't want to just go up anyway. It's a, what's it, Hoan? If I remember the name of it, I can't look at it now, but I'll point it out. It's an AI controlled, and it keeps going off and going back on. It's having some brain farts today. I can tell because the light goes on. And technology's nice, man, when it works. If I can get AI to stay on. Anyway, got a little remote. So, again, Milwaukee let me down. I have my little screwdriver, drill, and it just wasn't powerful enough. I knew that going wrong. So I went and got the Milwaukee 12 volt, and it wouldn't go through a freaking stud. The old 12 impact. The Milwaukee was an impact. The wall will whoop Milwaukee's booty every time. Anyways, that's my rant for today. So, stick this wire in a hole, and I'm trying to hurry. I'm not really in a big hurry, but I'm trying to get, I have so many projects going on, I'm trying to get this one to the next stage. The next stage is drywall. You better follow me. So once I get this wiring somewhat installed, well, I mean, it is installed, but ooh, almost got that wire, bro. Missed that. Ooh, that was close. Anyways, once I get this wiring installed, the next stage is drywall. Oh, this thing's fun. Good times. That's why I ran a 1-inch bit through the floor doors so that I wouldn't have a whole bunch of problems getting the wire in. And then I have a little bit of wiggle room. Keep expenses low, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, don't you nod on me. Don't you nod up, baby. Anyways, I should have had just enough wire. Just enough. I didn't need to buy 25 foot of it. Of course, that was expensive. Heck, just this was expensive. I think it was like $90 for this little piece of rope wire. Just enough to get me over there. And also what I'll do, once I get the wire running, I'm not hooking anything up right now. This is dead ends for right now. Then I'll do the drywall work. And then once the drywall work's done, then I'll come back and hook everything up. Which that's the easy part. Ooh. Dang, that's close, bro. Yep, that's gonna be close. I need at least that. Yeah, this is fine. Because what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna drill a hole, once the flooring's done, then I can drill a hole down, stick the wire through, mount the outlet for that on the wall. So now if I can just put that in a junction box and that wire is done. Come here, AI. It's technology, man. And it keeps climbing. I don't know why it keeps climbing. It's the M7 Holland, whatever, M7. It's pretty nice, but it's had a couple glitches here today. But I mean, it so follows me around. There's another one. There's a cheap thing you can get on Amazon for like $50. And it's just a little pod, sits there, and you put your camera on it, and it follows you. This is a gimbal. It's a pretty nice gimbal, but it's got some issues trying to follow me around. Of course, I'm moving around on that. So, anyways, I'm gonna go get the box, screw that to the floor joist, and tape the wires together, and we'll be good on this. Cool? And it went off again. Wall is like a freaking inch thick. They don't give you better to be tap tip on the Alright, so I've got the 3-way run. I've got the wire going up for the actual light fixtures. I still need to run a home run for this light because there's no ground. I'm not playing that. Because this outlet right here is perfect power source, but there's no ground, so I'm not messing with it. So tomorrow I'll run a home run for the kitchen light. The reason why is because the living room light fixture is janky. Not the fixture. The wiring in the attic is just not right. It's pigtail till off another wire. So anyway, so I'm gonna kill that one too, because there's also no dead switch for the light or the ceiling fan in the living room. There's no. It's just hot or it used to be hot all the time. So I am going to drop a switch here on the other side of the wall for the living room light fixture. So that's the other reason why I'm running a home run and run it up here in that cavity for the power for the 3-way, for the kitchen lights, and for the living room light. Because it's not right. It's not proper. And it's dead in the attic right here. Yeah, I'm just trying to peach. So it's been a very good day, man. So I got all the wiring run for the kitchen sink, everything's done over there. The stove, I'm not drilling a hole until we actually get the stove ready to roll. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to have to run flooring around the wire. So, this is the outlet for the refrigerator. I'm just going to do a ground on it to the box and be done. Get rid of that, cap that, plug these holes, and we'll be good. So tomorrow, all I got to do is run a home run for this, get this squared away. There's 3 wires in the basement I need to get, just eliminate them and cap a couple boxes off, nothing major, but we're done with the wiring. I'm not going to do the lights, cut the holes out and actually install lights until I get the drywall finished, because I don't want to have to work around a hole. Some of these are real close to the same, so that's the reason why I'm not going to bother with cutting a hole right now, because I got all this drywall to do. Cool. So tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow we'll get the wiring finished up, and we'll get cash out on this part and hopefully get on to the next part, because today's Saturday and I'd like to get started on the drywall Monday. That would be the bomb. That way by the end of the week I'll have all this drywall finished up, and then we can get on to installing cabinets and plumbing and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm psyched. I've got half a dozen other projects going on right now. I still got to do that sink, that frame for that trailer footer one. I've got to finish that up. It's been a bad couple of weeks of work. This is what happened at work. I had a line blow out in the back hallway. and it had it been in the middle of the night, it would have flooded the place. I mean, it would have been bad. But just so happens, praise God, I just had walked around, clocked in, and was walking around to go outside to pick up grounds, and I heard the water spraying in the pool room, or in the pump room. So yeah, I was able to pro press, or I was able to mega press. That's the first time I'd ever done mega press to galvanized, going from galvanized to copper. That was pretty cool. I don't have the head, but there's a plumbing company here in Dayton that I was able to rent it from them for $50 for the day. And I'm gonna buy the heads, or the company's gonna buy the heads, the mega press heads. So that'd be cool for the M12, because that's all they got is galvanized in that building. So, yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I've had all kinds of plumbing. I had to run 8 stories of water line, a water line for 8 stories. It was horrible. But anyways, not complaining, I'm just saying, I've been extremely busy. Plus the website, it's up and going now. There's just a bunch of little tweaks that I've got to take care of before I, say anything about that. But anyways, I got van wrap coming. They've got to tweak that, and then I can get the van wrapped. Like I said, I'm not doing this full time. It's just, I'm working on building up a business. So this is it. This is what I like doing. I wish I could do this full time, because it's a whole lot less stress. I don't have somebody saying, hey, I need this, and this done all day. You know what I mean? That's a big difference. But anyway, so I've got to pack up these tools and bounce out. So we'll be back tomorrow.